Yo, what's up, guys? It's Rubicon Vale here. Hey, I had some audio issues on this app, so bear with me. Wrong microphone, and the microphone I used had a short in it. So it does get better as it goes. Give this one a chance. We got a lot of good topics, so thanks for listening.
It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 224. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, new optional items are available. Announcing the 7th 14-hour broadcast. Join us for duty commenced on June 18th. Letter from the producer live, part LXV. I didn't convert that, but that's July 9th. Presenting the winners of the Digital Fan Festival 2021 Art Contest. We'll cover some recent interviews with Yoshida and a reminder about our contest. But first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on this week? Hey, Ruby.
Hey, Yelta. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
I am doing excellent as well. It is Thursday. It's a good day. It's been a good week. Life is good. I've been playing a lot of 14. I think I've been on pretty much every day. It doesn't mean I've been, running anything serious. Yelta, I hardly play with anybody. I just kind of play with myself in the corner.
It's just you're don't even talk sometimes.
Hide in the corner and play with myself.
Don't play with yourself.
Well, not in public, anyway. Unless you're into that sort of
That's
thing.
illegal.
You get arrested. No, I've been doing a lot of, old content, and so I told you I was going to talk about this at length, so I'm going to waste all my time of the Let's Shoot the Shit talking about my Eureka experience. Because I'm not done with Eureka. I have plenty of ways to go. I just hit level 46 last night. But I am deep in Pyros territory at this stage, and I think I had just unlocked Pyros when we last recorded. And it was a completely different experience than what I'd experienced in Pagos. Pagos, of course, was way different than what I experienced in Animos, because I did Animos when it was relevant, and then stopped when I got halfway through Pagos and never looked back at it. I think it was around the time my son was born, and it was just whoop, we're done with that. So, anyway, I have had a lot of fun in Pyros now that I am at a level that I can actually do fun and games with the bigger boys and girls that are running around in there. And as I've gone through Eureka, I have found that the post 4.0 experience, the now we're in 5.0, Eureka's a thing of the past, 4.0 relic, it has morphed into a tight little community that I was not expecting when I was going to go in there. I had fully expected I was going to be alone, which I do mainly play alone when I'm in there. But I thought it was going to be more of a harsh experience than I experienced. It does get harsher as you go, and I'll explain. But when I first got back into Pagos, I learned that there's I guess a community of people that just keep running the content, or at least a rotating community that sort of keeps some norms, or at least a friendly vibe. At least that was within Pagos. And it just was really nice. They would wait for people to show up to fights. It was really nice. And I think I talked about this last time too. The Pagos experience was super nice. But the Pyros experience was a bit different. I got into Pyros, and I was very lonely at the beginning, because there's two areas. There's a north area and a south area. And the south area is predominantly where you do your 35 to 45-ish, maybe just before. And then everything else pretty much takes place up north. There are some higher fates down south, but not, for the most part, it's up north. But if you're not in the 40s... you're going to have a hell of a time being up there and running from fate to fate. And there's, I think, a lot more dangers than was in Pagos. Even though, the sleeping dragons are in Pagos, and those seem scary. There's plenty of sleeping dragons at Pyros, too. And I think they've got a deadlier mix of, true sound mobs that can easily get a hold of you. I've died quite a bit in Pyros. Pyros, I've died once and had to port. Nobody came to me. Nobody. It was very early on. I think I was like 38 or something, 37. So that was a kick in the pants. But as I leveled, I think you sort of, it's not a respect thing. It's like if you can get to the fates, you can gladly and easily join up with people. But there was one time I was in there and I saw in the shout chat somebody said, how do I level up to these fates? It's hard, or something like that. I don't think they said it's hard, but they said, like, I'm having trouble getting to the fates. What do I need to do? And somebody said, get to rank 50, get to level 50. And the guy got all butthurt about it. He started whining and shout about, you guys are rude. I didn't think it was rude. It was more truthful. I guess it could have been said nicer, but, it was factual. And this dude kind of got ridiculed over shout chat for acting very childlike in his response to being told, hey, the reality is the only safe way to get around Pyros is to be level 50. And I am still finding at level 46. It still can be difficult in some parts to get around in there. But it's fun. If you are thinking about doing your 4.0 relic, I can't really tell you what the now Animos experience is, but I think it's pretty much just join the crowd and run around. It's the same thing, the Fate Train, and those pop pretty regularly. You got to change your instance, every now and again. But Pagos is what I said. I think it's friendly if you give it a shot. Pyros, I think the expectation is know your shit. Mm-hmm. Of course, I have not unlocked Hydatos yet. That is coming soon because, I think 50 is when you kind of exit out. But my experience also with trying to do the relic, because I am trying to do the relic as I go, why not, right? Should be natural. Is that you kind of have to get your levels before you do your crystals. Because you really can't even get the last piece. I'm not quite sure what this one is. It starts with a P. It's some kind of feather or something like that. I don't know. But it's an item of some sort. But you can't even get those until you're like the higher ranks anyway. And you just can't hit the Fate Train like you want unless you are in the upper levels. So I would suggest anybody going through Eureka, do the story, level, and continue the story. And as you get near the end of the story and you start seeing that you've got Animos crystals or Pagos crystals, whatever, start thinking about saving those up and then start those pieces of the relic quest. At least up to the point that I'm at. I think there's some crazier stuff as it goes, so it may just completely turn it on end. But if you're where I'm at, that's the route to go. Well, do the quests and then start joining the fates, because you should be high enough level to get to all the fates. So that's a lot of what I did. Mm-hmm. It took up a lot of my time. I did do one other thing. My wife has been saying, "Are you going to pre-order? Are you going to pre-order? Are you going to pre-order?" Of course, I was going to pre-order. I didn't get the box edition. Of course, I didn't jump on that train for the physical collector's edition. But we did order our digital editions. I actually noped out of the collector's edition this time. This is the first time I've ever done that because I really didn't care about the mount this time.
Yeah.
I really didn't care about the minion, and the weapon is a job role that I probably will not level unless I'm trying to get everything to 90 or whatever. So, I went for the normal edition. So we ordered two, one for me and one for my wife. We got our codes for our earrings, and she's like, "You gonna do that watch?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It seems weird spending a lot of money on a watch like that. That's just not me typically. But it's a Citizen watch. It's going to have longevity, and God, this is just a beautiful watch.
It's a nice piece of hardware.
It is a beautiful watch. So, of course, I wanted the light one, so I ordered the light watch. There is still time if you want to get the watch. I think you got till June 30th, so you've got a little bit longer if you want to order the watch. There's plenty of QVC Home Shopping Network stuff. If you want to buy things for this game, they're still pumping it out in Lodestone. We'll read some of that tonight, but not too much, because they got lots of our money as is. So anyway, that is where I'm at, waiting for my watch. December 27th is the estimated delivery date for my light Final Fantasy and Citizen crossover watch. So I'm pumped. It's going to be great. And finishing Eureka is going to be great whenever I do that. And then I will gladly jump into more Zadnor content and start finishing up my relic. On that way, we got a long time to go. I think I can knock out 2 relics in the time it takes for Endwalker to get here. So,
yeah. You probably have time.
I probably do. Yelta, what'd you do?
I played some. I worked on my Black Mage relic, and I finished that. I'm not sure I like any of this set of weapons, but I like having them. I did Zadnor, I did Baja, I did pretty much anything anybody's like, hey, let's go do this or whatever. And then someone in the free company was like, I need to do, what was it? Some stuff we both were missing from Eureka. So we went and did like a warped box farm. Just the two of us trying to figure out where the best place to go at our level, how much we could kill, what jobs made a good combo. No, we didn't spend tons of time in there, but I did get some stuff. I got some stuff I already had, but yeah. But I think I had already bought like the super rare mounts. I one day just broke down and bought 2 of them that I never actually got myself. But there's still some stuff missing on my list. I think there was a piece of music I don't think I had. I did get something I didn't have, I think. So, and I actually went back and ran a 24-man. I've just been ignoring upgrading my gear, but I'm like, I have 2 coins. I could go run the one thing and go get a 3rd coin and buy and upgrade a body piece. So I'm kind of working on my eye level, but I don't really see the point of it. I guess anytime you're stronger, right? But
right.
I'm like, but for what? So, I went to the forum. That's been my guilty pleasure during my lunch hour, is kind of perusing the really insane posts on the forum.
Same.
And I went and I reported my missing legacy titles, but talking to Ruby before the show, you seem to clearly remember reporting them in-game, so I think I'm going to give that a try.
Yeah, there was a saga. You'd have to go back. You should just go back and listen to whatever episode I complained about it and find out what the steps were. I honestly don't remember, but I think obviously there's a forum post, because you found my forum post.
Yeah.
Where I complained about it. But I think I reported in-game and got to be honest, a bullshitty response, and had to plead my case again and tell whichever GM that, in fact, the character I'm on right here has the achievement, but no title. So I wonder if there was a bug with that. I wonder if something didn't click.
It's widely known issue. A lot of Legacy people didn't get all their titles when they came over, apparently. It's been widely reported. I've found multiple Reddit threads and stuff when I was Googling how other people got theirs solved. And they have been fixing them if people ask, but apparently, it's not automatic.
I always wondered if that took away my one-time get an item back or something. I burned it up using the title.
I've honestly thought about asking for... I had the Garland... Was it the Garland goggles on one character? I had the Hermes something shoes on the other character. Wave 1.0 pre-order stuff or something. I don't even remember. I've often thought about requesting to have that restored. Just because it's a super old school.
Oh, for sure.
No one has
Not too many people have those Garland goggles. That's the one of the... There was 4 items, and that's the only one I missed.
Yeah. Well, because I don't think you could do it on the same... There was some reason I couldn't do it on the same account that got the shoes.
Oh, because one is the collector's edition, and one was the standard edition, I believe.
That might have been it, yeah. But, I'm not really worried about them, but I have thought about it. And then, did you Did you spend your tombstones of pageantry before they?
Well,
shut
I
it
didn't
off?
have enough to do shit with, but I did see that people were very upset that it shut off prior to what they thought it was going to shut off. And to be honest, I thought it was going to be like gone on Tuesday, but available still on Monday. I didn't have enough to do anything with. I didn't really pursue it, so it didn't I wasn't butthurt. But I had one time thought about doing it and thinking, oh, I could grind on Sunday and Monday, and then buy whatever I want Monday night. But Monday was a no-go. There was no Monday.
Yeah, they shut it down. Now they did it. To be fair to them, I guess they did put it in the notices. They did. I think they even tweeted out, "Be sure to spend your stuff." But let's be real. Not that many people, I think, read all that. And I can definitely see if I had farmed a bunch, assuming that I'd have until the next patch to spend them, which is all the other Tombstone events have been. You can only earn them up to this date, but you still have the rest of this time to spend it. So I can see why people are pissed. But luckily, we did that Hades farm on Saturday night. I got some tombstones. I spent them immediately, and so I didn't have that problem. But I can sympathize with people who were like, hadn't decided what to buy yet and hadn't spent their tomes because they assumed, based on historical precedent, that they would have time, and this was a different event apparently. But there are some pretty asshole people on the official forums. Jesus, some people are like, "You bring this back right now."
Oh,
Open
wow.
the shop up, and the other people are like, "This didn't seem super fair or super obvious. Could you turn that flag back to allow people to spend them?" I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they turned that back on and let people spend them, because historically, and you know how this game is, it's very, very structured, right? Almost
Right.
not almost, to a fault. To a fault. You know exactly what you're going to get all the time. Occasionally the surprises, but this was like an unfair deviation, kind of. I can see where people would say that.
I guess the only light at the end of the tunnel is when it does come back, even though it won't be the same tombstone, you should have the option to buy the older stuff. Isn't all the other items still underneath the menu?
I don't...
Because when I clicked it, I saw stuff like spend this tombstone, spend this tombstone, spend this. I don't have any of those tombstones, so I didn't click it. But I could have swore I saw a menu on the Moogle that had the different tombstones underneath.
The last tombstone, I think, is still live. If you have them, you could. The previous one to that.
Oh, it's just the previous one.
I think it's just the previous. You know what?
Well, but still, in this case, it would be the previous one.
No, this one's special. This one's different. This one's because of FanFest. It's not keep us busy.
Oh, I did not realize that.
I think this is different. This one, while it used the same NPC and everything, seemed to be. I should pull up the page. Seemed to be because of FanFest.
Huh.
Not keep you busy till... I don't know. I should go look.
Weird.
I think it was different. And they kind of made a mistake then by using the same... I personally think they kind of made a mistake then too.
I think so too in this regard.
Yeah. And yeah, it does say clear as day on the post about it, but I don't know. It just seems a little harsh. I would be for them opening it back up. Now I have to go look, because now it's bothering me.
Well, if they really wanted to be like, we did this on purpose, bring it back for the 14-hour broadcast.
See,
bring it back
honestly,
for that day.
Doing that too. Of course, then you're gonna get the people who are like, I wasn't able to log in those 14 hours. There's no pleasing some people, but no. Okay, so it just says the Moogle Treasure Festival 2021: The Hunt for Pageantry, a special fan festival edition of the Moogle Treasure Trove.
I mean, there it is.
Yeah, I think it was specifically for FanFest.
Wow.
No, to be fair, I don't care if they put all those items in the next trove. The only unique item you couldn't have gotten any other way is the One Ring, right? And in fact, I ground up my tombstones and bought that one and have been wearing that ring since like 2 days after the event started, because I knew that I would maybe forget or whatever. So, oh well. It is too bad, though. I mean, but they were, it was a month. It was from May 14th to June 14th. And I just know that I sometimes forget, so I usually do stuff early. All right. And then, for no reason at all, I played an alt for countless hours. I don't know. There's a little aura running around that's not named Yelta Sumisu. That's level 30. Blowing things up as a black mage. I have no idea why I even rolled her. She's cute. I play alts when I just want to be left alone sometimes, I think. If you see me on Final Fantasy XIV and I'm on an alt, I probably want to be left alone. Actually, I was kind of curious, especially with a lot of other new players, and there's a lot of holy shit where there's sprouts. Everything I've done so far, sprouts. Now, some of those sprouts weren't sprouts. They were obviously like me and knew where to pull the boss, knew what to do. So I think other people were playing alts, but it's been interesting. I like playing alts. Honestly, I like the low level questing and grinding and unlocking of stuff. I like the feeling of progression, and a lot of people hate that, right? A lot of people just like jump potion me out of that.
Oh yeah.
But I actually find it very chill just to like walk around and kill my hunt mobs or the hunting log, and yeah. Massively over leveled again, even though I think I did nothing but the MSQ this time. And I think I hit a couple of the things on my hunt log. And I think I just did a couple of guild tests to unlock them, because eventually, unless they took that away, maybe you don't need that anymore.
Guild tests and what?
Because there used to be where you couldn't go further in the MSQ because you had not done all the guild tests.
Oh, yeah, okay.
See, and I always did them as soon as I unlocked them, so other people were really mad when they had to spend a couple hours doing all the guild tests because something relied on them. They may have decoupled that, I don't know for sure. All right. That was my week. So let's remind you all about the contest. The Thirsty for Endwalker contest. Show us your thirst in any screenshot of your choosing, but keep it R-rated or under, please. Send us a screenshot with your character in it, showing us how thirsty you are. We'll pick one winner. The winner will receive a Fantasia, so they can swap to whatever they want to before Endwalker, or their choice of the Final Fantasy IV. Why can't I say 4? Those minions. Roman numbers are causing me problems tonight. More than usual. All right, the contest ends July 15th, and we're going to announce a winner on the following episode. Entries can be sent to us by Twitter to our handle at GTFFXIV, or you can send us by email at GTFFXIV@gmail.com. And please give us a way to contact you back so we can get you your prize. The first round is news. Man, it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't have stuff they're trying to sell us.
Oh my god.
New optional items are available. There is an outfit, the Rishi attire, and there's an emote, the flower shower emote. Those are both on the store, brand new items. I did go pick up the flower shower emote because I like emotes. I did not pick up the outfit because I guess it's cute on a Lalafell, but that's $18 I didn't need to spend.
Yeah, those are cute. I'm not ever into the Eastern look as much as I am some of the Western or sci-fi looks, or something dark. So it's just not really my thing. I could see myself doing the emote though. It kind of save you on some, I think, firecrackers.
What is the Lalafell wearing? I don't know what that dress is. Do you know what that red dress is that the little Lalafell in the flower shower is wearing?
I do not.
Listeners, let me know because that's a cute dress. I know what the kitty's wearing. That's the bridesmaid dress. And I think I know. Yeah, I sold an entire set of what he's wearing, but I don't know. And she's got a little red bow on her head. I gotta go find this now. I would be adorable in that. We just got completely sidelined. Yelta needs glams. All right. So spend your money or not. Announcing the 7th 14-hour broadcast. This is coming up on July 9th. And it's, and Japan's, of course, still in a state of emergency, so there was a state of emergency because of COVID-19. But I think they're still doing a lot of preventative measures because of COVID and whatnot. But they announced it, but they don't think that. All we know is it's from Friday, July 9th at 6 p.m. PDT, and they're going to give us some details later. These have historically been entertaining and a little odd at times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think we're going to have at least a window into some of the odd guests that will be appearing.
All right. Then duty to commenced is June 18th. Oh, that's tomorrow. Oh, that's Friday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
So this will probably be recorded, and in 2 weeks we'll tell you where you can go watch the recorded version.
Very true.
Oh, they're going to do Diamond Weapon Extreme with fellow adventurers. That sounds good.
Nice.
So it's Aya, Danielle, and Sam, and it's at 3 p.m. PDT. Was that 5 my time? Yeah, I can probably catch that.
I wonder if they're back together yet, or if they're going to still be remote. Maybe. I mean, it's their offices are in California, so they may still be remote. I don't know what the laws are over there right now. It'll be nice when everybody can be back together again, is what I'm getting at.
I was watching some show the other night, and he first time back with, like, a studio audience or whatever. And it was kind of weird after watching these different talk show guys just be, in their homes or at their desks or in a void. Mm-hmm. All right. And they're going to do the community commendations again. So that's cool. Showcasing talented content creators and artists of every medium. So they're gathering submissions on the official forums. And, have they always been going to the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit for this, or?
I don't know.
I mean, because that's listed now.
It's new to me.
Maybe I haven't been reading them that close. And on Twitter, you'd have to crawl your way past all of those. I just made a character screenshots where upvotes to the left. So, yeah, go submit some commendations. All right, letter from the producer live part. What is LXV? 15, 6.
I think let's carry the 1. I think it's 65.
65? Yeah.
It looks like this is probably part of the 14-hour broadcast.
Yeah, it's July 9th at 7:30, so that's going to be in the second half of the show. The director will be accompanied by Yosuke Sato and Yoko Taro. Oh, okay. Guest creators of Yorha Dark Apocalypse. Just skip all that. And they're going to look at the Alliance raids. That was my outside voice. Sorry.
Where's that moon-headed guy at? Whatever it looks like, the robot head. What is that? Get him out of here.
65. Okay. All right. And let's see. And they're going to... by the way, they're taking questions about the Yorha Dark Apocalypse raid series. So, of course, there's when are we getting tacos? Why don't we have peaches?
When are we getting tacos?
I mean,
my God.
I didn't actually see those questions, but there was plenty that were had nothing to do with the requested topic. All right, the date and time is July 9th at 7:30 p.m. PDT. It's going to be on YouTube, Nico Nico, and Twitch. They haven't announced the URLs yet. The show details are going to have patch 6.0 digest, special guests, miscellaneous updates, and then those 2 special guests I mentioned earlier. And you can submit your questions on the official forums. And the question and answer theme is questions about Yorha Dark Apocalypse. So go be sure to ask about, Mel Vieira or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Presenting the winners of the Digital Fan Festival 2021 Art Contest. My internet's really slow. All right. They're announcing the winning entries. And the complete list of entries are going to be shown later. A number of entries have been marked to indicate popularity within the development and operations team. I kind of like that, even if it's didn't win overall. I kind of like it when I get to see that somebody thought something was cool looking or whatever. So what do we get? Finalists, I just want to see the winners. Illustrated works. Oh my.
There's some beautiful stuff in here.
This is really nice. Really impressive. Handcrafted physical works. Oh. Oh, those are beautiful. That's the mini orchestrion roll. There's some nice stuff. People are so talented.
Well, just first off, coming to the site, I love the way this is set up with the different selections at the top, kind of color-coded, and then the subcategories of amazing, great, cool, cute, fun, relatable. It's kind of neat how they chop this up. So kudos team for making a nice little site for this. But there is just some amazing stuff in here, and partially because of the way it's chopped up, it's hard to compare, but that's kind of a good thing. I don't want to say, this one's great compared to all these other ones.
They're kind of lined up in their themes. So,
yeah.
We have Hildebrandt and a Subligar on the same page.
Mm-hmm. I'm into the physical stuff now. I'm looking.
That's what I'm too. Do you remember the Garuda in brass or whatever it was?
Oh yeah.
Right. Somebody had contacted me with her. This was a couple years ago, but she was going to make me another one because Matt actually has it. Matt or Roman actually has the.
Wow.
Has it now. I was going to have her make me one, but then she got busy with college and I never heard back.
Oh gosh, I need one of these great Serpent of Rankas, in a flower bed or something in front of the house. It would be so cute.
The Great Serpent of Ranka. This is great. I see, and I like this. I'm in love with the Spriggan. The little Spriggan next to him is pretty cool. I actually have a stuffed Spriggan right here on my desk. My husband bought it for me.
Oh.
I do like and I have a Spriggan bank too, a coin bank. It lights up when you put coins in it.
Oh wow! What is this dial with the masks of all the Asians on it? What is that?
What page is
that?
Or
is it just a? It's under cool of the physical handcrafted works. It's a red circular.
That's all the Asians' masks.
Yes, but that's just bad ass.
That's really amazing.
I don't even know that it has any usage. I guess it's like now I see anything circular with the symbols around it. Like, is that a watch too? Can I get a watch?
Everything's a watch. Can you make that into a watch for me?
Sure, with 14 of them or whatever, we'll make a watch. 14
that
o'clock.
Diabolos. Diabolos looks a badass too. Separat, the big boy. Ooh, Elemental Armor of Fending +1 and Dead Hive Claymore cosplay. Cool. That's. Gosh, people are talented.
Yeah, very much so.
So congratulations to all the winners, and I didn't even make it through all the entries. When you go to FanFest and you walk around, I can usually look at everything.
Sure.
There was just so many. I felt overwhelmed pulling them all up. All right, and then we've got just some interviews. Honestly, I think I might have read these initially when they came out, but I probably don't remember anything about them now because I have no short-term memory anymore. So we'll just start from the top down, I think. Let's see. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker producer and director Makoto Yoshida Q&A. Oh, I did read this one. Yeah, they talk about the Reaper job and Male Vieira. They talk about him wearing the Reaper outfit.
It was hot.
It was very hot. All right. We scroll down. Come on, computer. There's some actually really cool pictures of the entire... of the events going on at FanFest.
Yeah, I really like this pic of Koji.
Yes.
It's powerful.
This one just was really kind of just covering everything that was in the FanFest.
Yeah, I thought it was a little odd they were asking Yoshida some music questions in here. He didn't defer to Soken in these, but he referenced Soken a lot in them. I think there was 2 music questions. They were good answers, but I would think to ask him more design questions than music questions. Just me.
Yeah. Oh, some of these answers are really, really long, too.
Yeah, he gave a pretty long answer about the races. I think one thing that is, I think one great thing that came out of all of this was knowing that the team, although they did work on their spare time, it wasn't a crunch sort of mentality that the team chose to implement the other gender. They did it of their own volition, and of course Yoshida has said repeatedly that they did not violate any laws as far as making their people work overtime. So,
because there was a big backlash about that. They're like,
sure,
and like even like Soken was like, he really wanted to keep working, even though he was,
Well, yeah, we've seen this backlash to other companies. I mean, seriously, from like, I guess Cyberpunk was one of them that had crunch, and then an awful launch, and then there was other game designers or game companies that have crunch. And so you really don't want a game like this, something that you love, to be, have that kind of legacy going on underneath it. So it's great that they care about their workers, they care about their team.
Nothing in that interview really called out to me. I think I actually liked the Gamerscape one better.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. It talked a bit about that. Gamerscape asked about how the development team came with the ideas for Sage and Reaper, and I think sounds like they decided first the role, right? In Shadowbringers, they're going to bring a tank or a healer, and they chose a tank. However, since they've had so many requests needing a new healer, including me, they were intent on adding a healer with Endwalker. And then they decided to make the other job a DPS, and in consideration of balancing the DPS roles, they decided on a melee DPS that uses the same gear type as Dragoon. Now, Dragoon is the right. that I've noticed is the only one that's really, their gear only goes to them.
Right.
Is that kind of, because
that
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I think that was the whole point, that we needed to balance out the DPS roles. So that I think was a logical step there.
And then, roughly speaking, the next step was to decide on the main hand weapon. So a lot of people had requested a job that utilizes a two-handed scythe. So it's a pretty smooth process setting up that weapon for a Reaper. And once they decided on the scythe, their thoughts went to a Grim Reaper, which in turn was extrapolated into the idea of implementing an avatar. So he's more of a Grim Reaper, not so much a necromancer.
Sure.
That's... When it came to Sage, they really struggled with choosing the weapon. There's lots of ideas, having the Sage hold giant orbs in both hands, or having them carry a medicine box on their back and throwing different potions. That's one of those that I kind of envisioned in my head, because a lot of us are maybe a chemist. We had various discussions and even created rough sketches in the process. Ultimately, we solidified on the basic idea of having the Sage control several crystal orbs, not held in their hands, but rather floating around them, and finally evolved into what you see now. Naming the job Sage actually came after all of this.
Of course it did, because it was a chemist first. I mean, you can clearly see that this was a chemist job before it became the Sage job. So, yeah, they tried. I mean, I think it clearly shows that they tried. I think I actually stumbled onto this article myself when looking up at an official forum post that was about sages and or about chemists. And I think a lot of people at least appreciate the fact that they tried to do something with chemist, but I don't know if it's limited imagination or trying to pull blood from a stone or whatever. You work with what you got, and if it doesn't feel right, it's never going to feel right. Mm-hmm. And I think you have that with some jobs. I think it's slowly disappearing, but you look at some jobs and it just doesn't feel right. I think Bard had some issues at times when their songs didn't have impact. That doesn't feel right? And Summoner, I think, is in that place where, do we need to keep the Eggies? Mm-hmm. Do we need to lean hard into the demi-summons? I think a lot of people would appreciate more to see a rotation of just Bahamut, Phoenix, and something else large, a Fenrir, or something else that would be different and big and feel ferocious, but still have utility than the Eggies. And it's not that the Eggies are bad. In fact, I love my Eggies when I'm doing Eureka solo. I love them because it allows me to put a stone skin on myself. I still have stone skin.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I think there's an identity issue. So cramming chemist onto what really became Sage. Well, I think they just had to say, hey, This is a sage now. It's not a chemist anymore.
Yeah, I wish they would let us just bring our chocobos into Eureka. I think that would be cool.
That would be nice.
All right, Gamer Escape asking the hard questions here. And I'm being serious. Lots of players are excited for male Viera. Some, however, are still wondering about the newer races, Viera and Hrothgar, lack of hairstyles, lack of visible head equipment, and in the case of Hrothgar, needing a Fantasia to change their existing hairstyles. Are there any plans to level the playing field for Viera and Hrothgar players by making adjustments to these issues? Yoshi P's response: for both the Viera and Hrothgar, there are certain characteristics we wanted to emphasize in their design. The long ears of the Viera and the beast-like features of the Hrothgar. Due to this, there was a limit to the range of customization, and we worked with those conditions when we created those races. If we wanted to make these features more customizable, we'd have to sacrifice those unique features. So it would be great if everyone could understand that at a fundamental level, it is not simply a matter of whether or not we will make adjustments to accommodate this. I have mentioned this on several occasions, but I understand why players request this. I really do. In an effort to accommodate this, if even for a little bit, we have continued to spend a lot of time assessing possible changes in the structure design of the models, as well as potential additions to our current workflow. Even as I write this, I just met with the team to get an update on their testing status for this. We may not be able to get them to be exactly the same as the other playable races, but I hope to be able to give you some kind of update soon, including the status on the stubble for here, as you asked about previously. So your patience on the matter is greatly appreciated.
Hey, look out.
It really sounds like that just they when they designed them, they decided that this is how it was going to be, and people were happy with that.
We've had this discussion before. Yeah. You know, like the amazing things that they changed coming from 1.0 to 2.0, and you know, forever and a day we will applaud this team for the great works that they did. They made some boo-boos, some design choices early on.
Short-sightedness.
Bit them in the ass. This is one of them.
The entire housing system was another one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they ever assumed we would all feel so entitled to stuff. And I don't mean that like when people use the dirty word entitled, but just like, you know, we assume that if you can do this with this character, you can do it with another character or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I think maybe it was a short-sightedness of, I guess it is kind of what you're saying. The desires. I'm thinking of it from a less entitled sort of thing, but more of a, hey, we're in the 21st century now. We kind of, you know, we want some sandbox elements as well, and everybody should be able to get at least a small sandbox to play in. Mm-hmm. Maybe that is entitled, but I can see people being salty about not having the ability to have a house, or at least, you know, when they first implemented it, just giving the free companies
houses. Yeah.
a house and not, you know, do something different. There's a lot of systems that, but you know, what's the hell's up with our link shell system? You know,
yes.
What a train wreck.
Oh no! Don't even talk about link shells. Talk about fellowships.
Oh shit! Why? You would add another layer of shit on top of the shit that was already there?
All right. Gamerscape asks, with data center travel coming soon, it feels like we're nearing the end of the path that started with World Visit. From a development standpoint, will data center travel and the technology behind it allow you to do things with future content you weren't able to do before? Yoshi P says, right now, we are putting in all of our effort into making travel between data centers a reality. So at present, I don't have anything formulated in regard to further game content or system expansions. With going back and forth between data centers, our frontier servers, which are implemented on a higher tier than the game servers, need to relay information on each character in order to keep high processing speed for the frontier servers. They are set up so that the server does not know information on a player's free company or the whereabouts of its members. Unlike the World Visit system, the player will not be able to carry over information on their free company or cross-world link shells to another data center. That's why we call it travel, and it is intended as a temporary visit. Using this to create new content would be quite a challenge, given the fact that certain information is being withheld during travel. However, I feel that this would enable everyone in the community to hold more large-scale events or create more opportunities to meet and make new friends. I believe this is the biggest advantage of the system. I worried about this, that it was going to be some sort of copy over, but not taking all your data. it'll be nice, if you want to go visit someone on another server, but that's what you're doing then. Your activity now is, I am visiting this data center. Maybe you can go raid or do whatever else, but it's like, you're going to be cut off from, anything that doesn't get
anything meaningful,
copied over with you. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works. Gamerscape asks, with previous expansion releases, players often got a heads up for when they could pre-order the collector's edition. Was there a reason that this didn't happen this time around? Are there plans to make more physical collector editions for those players who weren't able to secure a pre-order? Yoshi P says, first, I want to apologize. We were unable to keep up with the large demand for the collector's edition. We had initially planned for our fan festivals to be physical events, but as each one was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic and having to pivot to one single digital event, it led to this misstep. With FanFest 2021 now one single event, we were heavily focused on the promotional aspects of the event, trying to make a big splash with major Endwalker news and announcing and beginning pre-orders for the title while all of our fans were tuned in. Looking back on it, that goal was the impetus for pre-orders starting so suddenly, and it was a big learning point for us. I do want to note we have continued to carefully consider the quantity of our physical CEs based on quantities and sales from previous expansions. However, the recent influx of players greatly surpassed our expectations, which resulted in a shortage of supply over the great demand for CEs. Unfortunately, it takes a very long time to produce all the different merchandise items and figure for the CE, and we tried to readjust allocation globally, but every region was at its capacity, and we were unable to add any more stock. We hope that you can understand, and again, I would give my sincerest apologies for this. This is what happens when you're way more popular than you ever had any...
Yeah.
I mean, it's only getting...
What about those FanFest tickets? I mean, what would have that been like?
You had to order mine. The first FanFest, order mine for me.
When this game sucked, we still had to. No, this game has always been great, but now, we haven't even talked about the influx of the WoW players coming in. It's there's a lot more people playing this game. I don't know what that means for trying to get tickets for the next FanFest. I didn't attempt to get this. I just told y'all I got the normal edition. So, for those that were able to get this, great. I lament with those that weren't, because it was difficult. It's hard to get. And things are only going to get more difficult to get as more and more people play the game. If they don't produce more, do more.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where you get these snarky small indie company, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, because if it's like, oh, man.
They still make these rookie mistakes.
Yeah. All right, and I think the third one I did not read at all. This is PC Games. PC Games N. Let's see.
I don't remember if this one was a fluff piece about how great Yoshida was for turning around the game.
It started it with the critical disaster.
Don't you love it when they have to talk about 1.0?
Well, and I thought we were kind of past that now, right? Right? I could still see, after Heavensward, maybe even Stormblood, mentioning, the game sucked at one point.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's a 6.0.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about the critical disaster that had nothing to do with what's going on today. Maybe 7.0 they won't, because they'll have finished all of that storyline, so maybe they'll stop, everybody else will stop making that part of their storyline.
Then Yoshida can put out a bad game again, and then we can make the world again, and all kinds of other shit. The one takeaway I remember reading this one, there was a lot of talk about how other MMOs influenced Yoshida, and not even in just this article, I've heard some recent talk about how much Yoshida loves learning from Blizzard and other companies, other MMOs, of what to do, in some cases what not to do, but the question was asked in here, MMOs today look very different to classics like Age of Ultima and EverQuest, looking at 14, as well as your competitors. How's the MMO genre had to adapt and innovate? And Yoshida kind of compares the types of games like EverQuest and Ultima, the origins of the MMO, and how things evolve and how you have to take some things from those early days, but things have changed, and you could, as the MMOs have changed due to people changing, you have to keep up with the times. WoW changed its core systems over EverQuest so that people didn't have to be on all the time to be able to do content, and you've seen that next step of evolution with 14, where I think for some of us it's a little much to be able to say, hey, I can log in for 1 month, get everything accomplished, and go to bed for 2 more months, and then wake up in 4 months later, whatever, catch back up, and then whatever. But it is a selling point for this game. Mm-hmm. And, when we talk about the influx of WoW players, one thing I have heard is they do kind of appreciate that, because it's a different experience, and to know that, hey, I can just wrap it up, and they make the content in such a way, not that 14 made such shitty and lack of content that you just go away, which is kind of what we thought, and maybe they just changed their design mentality based on that. I don't know. You be the judge. But it's really become the selling point that you put a lot of fire, a lot of power behind the story, this piece of content, and then you say, see ya, go have fun playing something else. And
come back when you feel like it. Or when
we'll catch you next time.
If you burn
we've got the next 24 man to catch up and get all your gear and play for 6 weeks and get caught up and then be done. So that was my big takeaway. I don't know if you had anything else from that article that
I don't have
was
anything.
A big jumped out at you. I will say this. Excuse me. I'm still getting over a cold. I have been following this WoW influx, and I don't have a big WoW background. I don't have a WoW background at all, really. I think I played the level 12 or 20 or something on a character one time. That's it. My wife loves WoW. But I've been watching these, and I may be mispronouncing his name, Bellular clips, Bellular. And he's a WoW player. Apparently he has a nice background in World of Warcraft and has been doing videos for some time on YouTube. He is very, very pro 14 these days.
Oh, yeah.
Talking a lot about, comparisons between WoW and 14, the things that 14 does right. He has a video 1 week ago titled 14 is doing everything in capital letters right. We've been very critical of this. We love this game, but we've been very critical of this game for a long time. But I am starting to see not just the influx of WoW players who have become very disenchanted with at least whatever's going on right now in World of Warcraft, and are coming over to 14 in droves, partially because you can just pick it up and just jump in and play and get caught up pretty quick, and then get to end game content. Buy a lore book, a jump potion, level just a little bit, get the gear, and get to play with your friends. And it's fun, it's quick, and you can sign off, and it's not a forever grind, and it doesn't feel like it's sucking your soul while shitting down your throat at the same time. And for whatever reason, WoW players are feeling the burnout. I'm not a WoW person. I can't explain it to you. I can't explain why, but this guy's got video upon video upon video. And so, of course, the big hotness is Asmongold, the other WoW player that's big name, big time, whatever. I don't know much about the guy either, but this is big hype. People seem to be really excited that Asmongold is going to play 14, and it may be as much as buying a jump potion, buying a lore book, doing it for a couple of weeks and saying, like, it's not for me or whatever. But for some people, they're talking like it's the Messiah or something, that the god of World of Warcraft has come over. Now, on the flip side, I've also heard, there's this influx of WoW players, and this supposed influx of toxicity, and this influx of
I've heard there's a lot of the big streamers have some pretty toxic fans, and they spread.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of player. I have not encountered any. Well, of course, I'm in Eureka content. I'm getting anything like that in there. I'm not doing Ultimate. I'm not doing 12S. I'm not doing any of that stuff right now. So I don't know. Maybe there's some douchebaggery going on, and it's coming from those other MMOs. But it's big news right now. There's just a lot of WoW players that have a lot of bigger name WoW players, I guess I'll say, that have really been flirting with 14, and they give their reasons why they don't like it. You know, they don't like the anime look. They don't like some of the stuff that's just not into it. And I'm sure they're probably not into some of the wacky subculture stuff that goes on. You know, Yelta, I read my Twitter, and I've got a lot of friends on there that are in all kinds of subcultures. And all I've seen over the past week is either between the art or the mod community, they're back at it again with some hijinks that are about races and that are about, you know, our favorite one about the Lalafels. That stuff keeps going around. I don't guess that'll ever die. And it's just like, I don't think somebody coming from World of Warcraft, maybe they do expect that kind. I don't know what goes on in the inns in World of Warcraft, but there can be some odd subcategories that happen in the 14 community at times. So I don't know. People are worried about dude bros mucking up their Savage runs, but I think 14 organically has some pretty wacky stuff that happens in some communities. So hard to compare. But the WoW players are here, so get used to it. I guess they're going to be here until WoW fixes their shit, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are, and I guess I don't really care, and I'm not too worried about it. Well, what am I going to do about it? Boycott? What am I going to do? Like a
boycott Blizzard.
Check? I'm going to do a background check on my Pug members and see if they ever played WoW. I played WoW. I even raided, but the people I played with were fine. If we get an influx of toxic people, then, you know what? Just add more good people to your free companies and your link shells and your discords, and don't play with the people who are assholes. That's all you can do. And I guess, you know, I suppose someone could, like, be assholes on somebody's... It's back to my whole thing about if people are being assholes, then, okay, I know sometimes you can't just ignore them, but most places have ways to deal with assholes. If they're coming onto your stream and being toxic, then I don't know. But I'm sure there's tools to work to fix that. But
well, hey, if you'll recall, about a year ago, maybe longer, there was a huge uprising. Remember, everybody got butthurt because they changed 14's terms of service, where it felt like you could report anybody,
for anything.
And then of course all these people came up with fantasy reasons of why they were going to get banned from a fight for telling somebody, hey, you should use Selene instead of Eos or something. They were going to get reported and then their character deleted. Well, I don't know how much that actually happened. But that terms of service never changed after that. So I guess if you do get a dude bro that's acting crazy, do what you must.
I mean, I read a lot of Great Duty Finder, by the way, subreddit. And there's a lot of people that are getting banned for some of the shit they say. So, I mean...
Well, don't say dumb shit.
No, just the shit they say. People say some shit. I don't know if it's dumb or not. Oh, boy. But yeah, don't be a fucking asshole. And don't pal around with fucking assholes. You know?
That also helps.
I'm not saying these people are. I'm just saying we'll deal with it if it happens.
But the people that could be reported, yes. No, you don't do that.
Oh,
I don't know about the WoW people. I honestly don't. I don't know that I've played with any. I could have been surrounded in Eureka with a bunch of friendly WoW players. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and my personal thing too is, when in doubt, just fill out the report and send it to a GM. Let them figure out if it was a problem or not. I don't know. I do that all the time. Well, not all the time. I probably have done, like, once every 6 months. I might do a report to a GM about someone being complete jackass.
You know what you can report? You can report all those fake accounts on the official forums or whatever, those troll accounts, Titan Men, all the alts. I know sometimes they're funny, but sometimes
they're occasionally funny.
But there was one I read from a Lalafell that was just so upset over something. It was terrible. What were they upset over?
Well, I know this week it was apartments need rent. That was one of the ones. I don't know if that's a troll or not, but that says apparently they should start making us pay rent for apartments. That was one. I'm trying to think. There were 3 or 4 this week that were pretty interesting.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff on there, so I don't know. I feel like Titan Man is like a gremlin that got water poured on him.
Oh, and he's always single in a free company by himself. I don't remember what the other one was.
You know, I don't know if the WoW community also has people pretending to be young Asian women. Catfish people.
I wasn't even going to bring
either.
that shit up.
What?
Nothing.
I don't know. Maybe it happens in the WoW. I'm just saying, people are worried about dude bros messing up their Savage runs. You need to check who's in your free company.
Oh, this one was good too. Somebody found themselves basically cloned on another server, same looks and same name or some shit. They were upset.
Report them.
Yeah. You can't have my unique.
Oh, there was one I read, and it said, "Can we turn off all of anything that would link to me on the lodestone?" And they were like, "Well, you can turn off all of your, doodads and stuff." But he was like, "No, I want to block myself completely. I don't want people to know I even play this game." And they were like, "Well, how do people know? Like, what are you talking about?"
Unless your name's your real life name. Your address is not here.
So this guy says he's got some people from Kiwi Farms, the forum.
Oh God, that was
following him, and it's
you have to do some shit to get on Kiwi Farms, though, don't you?
So the rest of that forum is like, "What did you do to get on Kiwi Farms?" And he's like, "This is not about Kiwi Farms. This is about me being harassed by people, and I don't want people to know I play this game." And they were like, "But how did you get on Kiwi?" So somebody found it, and they were like, "You have 138 pages about you on this Kiwi farm. Apparently, they like your reactions to all the ways that they're messing with you, and they keep following you places to get reactions out of you, and you keep giving them gold, like this forum post." And the guy just never got off of it.
I found the Lalafell. It was
okay,
that Malta's Rider. Your ungodly long queue times prevented me from getting important shit done. He claimed that they had to do grocery shopping, but she queued up for something. His wife, that one, and he instead of like logging out and dealing with it like an adult, they missed their time to go grocery shopping because the plumber was coming. But you're the one who linked me, the one I responded to on my alt account. Please ban the individuals who deliberately lied to me.
Oh, yes.
Yes. A few weeks ago, I asked about Lalafell Squadron recruits, and 5 people pretty much said the same. False information. Please ban these 5 people. Deliberate misinformation. And this just really long thing about how they tried all the things where you're supposed to be able to get Lalafell female squadron members. Now, mind you, it's very RNG, right? Right? So the second post is actually my alt account where I just did a let me Google that for you and pulled up the same information. The information's correct. You're just... And then the thread goes on fire and they eat him alive.
It's actually really funny. It's also funny that I have every female Lalafell in my dude army. So I apparently have done everything right. So sorry. It's funny that they want female Lalafell. Like, I was just trying to go all Lalafell. I guess it makes me a sicko, too. But it's the fact that this book's just like, I want all female Lalafell.
Oh, he couldn't figure out how to put his Butterfingers item code in. That was fun. There's nowhere for him to put his...
I got a place for you to put that Butterfinger.
Oh, this week's 80 points for fashion report requirements are a complete joke. He's using, because he apparently doesn't understand that that's just one option. And he jump potted, so he doesn't have the level 70 pants that... Yeah, oh no. Just go find all of his started posts and just laugh.
That's great.
Oh my god. Yeah, that one with the deliberately lied to me.
I want my Lalafell women, you lied to me.
Impossible.
Kick them off this game.
Impossible fate should not exist in this game. Because he's taking...
Oh.
That's the one
that's
he was...
That's the indivisible one?
That's... No. Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a whole different one. No, he's doing fates, but he must be getting outside of the fate circle, because they're turning undamageable or whatever, and they run back. So he's not. That's what he's describing. Is he's taking the fate boss out of the fates? That's what you're doing. Yes. What was that?
There's one where it says 1 is not a prime number, therefore it's not indivisible or something. Or the mechanic says
indivisible.
Calibrate primes, but the thing says indivisible. But the fact that the mob, number 9 or whatever says primes in his speech bubble, that the content is lying to him, and he should not be failing the mechanic by standing outside. Yes, the Construct 7.
Yes. Oh, that was that aura who did that.
Oh my god.
And they argued with
I can't tell. I can't tell sometimes. They're so good. I can't tell if they're trolls or we need help. I don't know.
Oh, someone losing their mind about undercutting bots.
Well,
I have noticed that.
What's new?
Yeah.
What's new? Anyway, there's some comedy out there. And you don't need WoW players to come in to give you grief. We've got plenty of stuff in our own official forums. Plenty of reasons to get upset at this game without worrying about dude bros.
I'm not really worried about it. Or, it could be the apocalypse of the game and the downfall of, anything nice going on in 14. Who knows?
A merge. They'll merge the two games.
Oh, fuck.
World of Fantasy.
That's the next step after the data center merge is the game merge.
Right. No, Classic 14. Oh. They bring back 1.0.
Oh, somebody already asked Yoshi P about that, and he's like, no.
He's like, hell no.
Whew. Well, I think we talked about shit enough tonight.
We should have more next time. I mean, we've got what's coming up. We've got, Duty Commenced will be coming up. But, I mean, really, I guess we're setting our sights on July 9th for some juicy info. So we'll have to scrounge something up for next time. But here soon, we should have more juicy tidbits.
Yeah. All right, then I guess it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, GTFFXIV.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plug, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at RubiconVale, RubiconVale.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yeltasumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.